Hi, I'm Laurie Maldonado, and together with Rense Nieuwenhuis, we published a paper on family policies and single-parent poverty across countries in Community Work Family Journal. We're both researchers. I work for LIS, the Luxembourg Income Study Center, and Rense works for Swedish Institute for Social Research at Stockholm University. We want to share with you these important findings because they suggest that family policies reduce poverty for all families, especially for single-parent families. Single parents are predominantly single mothers. While of course there are single fathers, they comprise only a small percentage of all single parents. We study single-parent poverty on over 500,000 households in 18 OECD countries from 1978 to 2008. Why is it important to study? Because there's clear evidence that poverty is indeed harmful to child well-being. Across countries, single-parent families have higher poverty rates than two-parent families. However, there's much cross-national variation in the poverty rates. For example, you have the United States on one hand with all-time poverty rates of 40%, and then on the other hand, you have Denmark with low single-parent poverties of less than 10%, and in some years 5%. So why such variation on single-parent family poverty rates? Up to this point, we have some insights. We know that education, employment, and having just one earner do play a role in contributing to poverty. Yet, after we take all into account the socio-demographic characteristics, the differences across countries still persist. Countries, their institutional contexts are important, and policies matter. We will focus on family policies. We look at parental leave that is intended to help parents facilitate work and family responsibilities. We find employment is associated with lower poverty, particularly among professional occupations, and particularly for dual earners. Parental leave, if paid, reduces poverty for all households with children, but more so for single parents, and even more so for single mothers by facilitating their employment. We've examined family allowances, which provides financial support for families to help offset some of the cost of child rearing. It's typically in a monthly payment, and it's for all families. Family allowances reduce poverty among two-parent households with up to 3 percentage points in Luxembourg, and among single-parent households and up to 13 percentage points in Norway. Again, similar to paid leave, family allowances benefit all families, especially single-parent families, and this is after accounting for income from employment. Single-parent families are less likely to be poor in countries that have family policies. The United States is the only country in the study that does not have a national paid leave policy or family allowance policy. While the U.S. does provide income tax credits to low-income working families, these are helpful, and we account for them in our analysis. But there's a lesson here, and I believe it's a hopeful one. The good news is we know what works. We have the data, and when we examine the U.S. in comparative perspective, the data suggests that family policies are effective, and family policies are beneficial to all families, especially those with the least resources. To conclude, for all countries, it's often the case that employment is not enough to lift a family out of poverty. Most single parents are working, and yet their families still remain in poverty. We find that paid leave effectively facilitates the employment of single parents, and the findings suggest when you combine employment and family policies together, they significantly reduce poverty for all. Thank you for taking the time to listen. We're grateful for your support. For further information, check out our paper at Community Work and Family Journal.